Today we're checking out the Eweadn L1 Pro, a magnesium alloyed remote wireless gaming mouse. Eweadn sent me this unit for review, but as always I have complete freedom to share my honest opinion. In this video I'll walk you through the unboxing, the build and feel of the mouse, the specs under the hood, and of course how it actually performs in game. Let's start with the unboxing. Right out of the box the whole experience feels premium. Alongside the mouse you get a USB-C cable, an extra set of PTA fuse-case, the 2.4 GHz receiver which also serves as a magnetic charging dock with RGB lighting. It's a nice surprise since most mice in this price range skip on the dock entirely. My very first impression was that nothing here feels like an afterthought and the mouse itself immediately stands out thanks to its magnesium alloy shell. I really like the fact that Eweadn adds the charging dock. This reminds me of my Viper Cyberpunk edition which I purchased a while back. Having this dock might not seem like a big deal, but it's so rewarding that you can just place your mouse on a charging dock and make sure it's ready to go whenever you need it. I definitely prefer this over having to connect to a USB-C cable. You can control the dock's RGB effects using the capacitive or touch-sensitive button on the device. Just press it to toggle between various lighting effects. Pretty neat feature. Speaking of that shell, it's one of the biggest highlights of the L1 Pro. The magnesium alloy doesn't just feel more premium than plastic, it's also incredibly sturdy. There's no flags, no creaks, no rattling when I squeeze it, and yet the whole thing weighs only about 49 grams, at least according to the official specification, as my unit tops at just over 54 grams. That's still seriously light for a wireless remote mouse, and the values might be different with different colors due to coating. Because of the hollowed out design with perforations in the body, you save weight without losing rigidity, and the result is a mouse that feels feather light in motion while still feeling solid in hand. In terms of shape, the dimensions put this mouse firmly in the small to medium category. It measures about 123 mm long, 69 wide, and a little over 40 tall. That size works really well for claw grip or fingertip grip, though palm grip users with medium hands will still find it comfortable. Personally, I've been using it with a fingertip grip, but claw grip will also work really well, and the hum gives just enough support to the back of the palm while letting the fingers rest naturally on the main buttons. I didn't feel like I had to stretch for the side buttons either. Everything just falls into place. The buttons themselves are also good. The main left and right clicks use Omron switches rated for 100 million presses, and they have a crisp response with barely any pre-travel and only a little bit of post-travel depending on where you press. The side buttons are on the left only and they actuate cleanly with a medium amount of force. The scroll wheel has defined steps that feel smooth, and the middle click is on the stiffer side, which I actually prefer since it avoids accidental presses in the middle of the fight. On the underside you'll find a three-way switch to toggle between wired mode, 2.4 GHz wireless, and Bluetooth. There's also a dedicated DPI button to cycle between your presses. The PTFE feed glide really nicely straight out of the box. Definitely a smooth experience on both cloth and hard pads. Under the hood, the L1 Pro uses the PixArt PAW3395 sensor paired with the PAR2862 controller. That combo allows for up to 8000 Hz polling rate, 2.4 GHz wireless, while wired mode caps out at 1000. The side switches are rated for 30 million clicks and the battery inside is 500 mAh. Eweadn claims around 80 hours of life depending on usage. Of course, if you run at 8000 Hz polling you should expect less, but included dock makes topping up the battery really quick and easy anyway. So how does it actually perform? To measure latency I use my 1000 frames per second camera, filming the delay between releasing right click in Overwatch and seeing the effect appear on my OLED screen. At 8000 Hz the average delay measured was 35.4 milliseconds. This was with debounce set to 3 milliseconds, but even reducing this value means that performance is not the strongest feature of this mouse. However, in real world, you won't notice the additional milliseconds. In real gaming sessions, I spent a few evenings with Marvel rivals and the mouse never once let me down. Tracking felt smooth, flick shots were consistent, and I didn't notice any stutter, jitter or signal drops. The ultra lightweight definitely makes flicking around feel effortless. The only small trade-off is that in very slow precise adjustments, such a lightweight shell can feel a little twitchy, but honestly it didn't affect my aim in any meaningful way. Eweadn's companion software is pretty clean. It lets you remap all the buttons, adjust up to 5 DPI stages, toggle polling rates, and even turn on or off features like angle snapping or smoothing. I personally leave those extra features off and stick to raw input, which feels the most consistent. The software isn't quite as polished as what you get from Razer or Logitech, but it does the job and it's straightforward to use. So should the Eweadn L1 Pro be on your shortlist? I think so. For its price of $79, you're getting a magnesium alloy shell that feels rock solid, an ultra lightweight of around 50 grams, a PixArt 3395 sensor with 8K polling, 3-mode wireless connectivity, and even a charging dock. Performance has been excellent on my testing, and while long-term durability remains to be seen, this mouse really does punch above its weight. That's it for my review of the Eweadn L1 Pro. Thanks for watching, I'm Laser, and I'll see you in the next one.